Valor hung suspended by Delanore's red longsword. Vito had disappeared by having her existence denied, and her minions had disappeared too. Now that they had disappeared from this cathedral, only Natsuki and the witches convicting her remained. So, you still claim that Kinzo's alive remains somewhere on this island? Yes, I do. Father is in good health. No matter what anyone says, I will not change my statement.
The Retro and Fruits games say that Kinzo is already dead. But that's not decides with you, right, Bern?
Yeah, that's right. I'm after a perfect victory. So there's nothing interesting about getting a checkmate just because Kinzo's death has been confirmed by the Red. I want to win by forcing Natsuki to say that she's resigned.
Then why don't you try it? Show me what you got. Come on. My master, let us now achieve a proper victory.
Of course. Natsui. You say that Kinzo is actually certainly alive, but you don't know where he is, correct? Yes, that's right. Father left through the window and his location currently is unknown. He's so troublesome sometimes. Lambda. I'm going to make Kinzo's location from midnight to the morning absolutely clear. From midnight until morning, Kinzo stayed in the same room.
Oh, duh! He was a corpse after all? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's right, totally right. I won't button. Sounds interesting, so keep going.
From now on, I will use the word Kinzo to mean a living Kinzo. After all, Natsuki claims he's alive. I'll say more with the red truth. Kinzo does not exist anywhere outside the mansion. Isn't that right, Erika?
Yes, my master. I searched for Kinzo all of the premises outside the mansion. However, I was unable to find him.
As a detective's authority, Erika could find all clues. Therefore, Erika was able to find a hint that Kinzo exists outside the mansion. It was the same as proving that Kinzo didn't exist outside the mansion. Therefore, Bern can self-repeat the truth of Erika's. Kinzo does not exist outside the mansion. So, Natsui. That means that if Kinzo exists, he must be somewhere inside the mansion. You have an idea where Kinzo might be hiding? How could I know? After all, think of the weather. After going out in the corridor, it would not be surprising at all.
雨をしのがれていたとしても何も不
If
思議
he
は
hid somewhere in the mansion to escape the rain.
私はこれからも
I'm gonna repeat the same question several times during this process.
あなたに名誉ある幸福の
I'll give you many chances to go for an honorable surrender.
痩せ我慢が
Too stubborn, no to lose even your true honor.
まで失うことになるわよいかなる脅しにも私が
No matter how you threaten me, I will not give up.
本当にいじめがいのある子
I just love teasing pieces like you.
では続き
Then, let's keep going.
以上の理由から
For these reasons, it's unthinkable that Kinjo-san might be somewhere outside the mansion.
考えられませんそこでまず
And following that, we performed an extensive search of the third floor where the study is.
捜索しました
However, there's nowhere he could have been hiding. We didn't catch any trace of dad on the third floor.
ではどこにいるんでしょう
So then, where is he, Natsu?
知りません
I don't know.
3階にい
If he isn't on the third floor, perhaps he's hiding in the basement?
ではありません地下ですね
Ah, yes, the basement.
ボイラー室地下倉庫など怪しげな地下に
We searched all that suspicious basement, including the boiler room, the underground storeroom.
私も探したわ
Yes, I searched too.
お父
I
様
didn't see father anywhere.
どこにもなかった繰り返します
I'll ask again.
金蔵さんはどこにいるんですか
Where's Kinzo-san, Natsu-san?
なら1階から
In that case, he was probably on the first floor or the second floor.
そうですね消去法
I see. Process of elimination does tell us that, doesn't it?
そして
We then thoroughly searched the first floor.
捜索しました結果は
And the result?
いいえ
Nope.
お父様の姿を見つける
We
こと
were
は
unable to find father.
繰り返します
I'll ask again.
金蔵さんはどこにいたんですか
Where was Kinzo-san, Natsu-san?
では2階に隠れていたのでしょう
Then he was probably hiding on the second floor.
お父様が隠れてい
How should I know where father is hiding?
本当にそう
Are you sure about that?
夏日さんは金蔵さんがどこに隠れていたのか
I think you very well know where Kinzo is hiding.
ご存知なんじゃないですか
Madame knows where master is. I was hiding.
That's impossible.
そんなこと
That can't be true.
あるはずありません
Both Shannon and Ken knew that Kinzo was no longer alive, so they didn't have a clue how Erica was planning to corner Natsu. Using a phantom of a person who didn't exist. Kinzo is nowhere outside the mansion.
3階に金蔵はいない
Kinzo isn't on the third floor.
地下に金蔵はいない
Kinzo isn't in the basement.
1階に金蔵
Kinzo
はい
isn't
ない
on the first floor.
以上から金蔵が存在
Therefore, the only place Kinzo obviously exists is the second floor.
だけとなるわ赤き真実を認め
I accept that, Red Truth.
夏日
Nazi.
金蔵は
Can you be somewhere on the second floor?
まだどこに隠れてるか
Peanuts,
教
will you
えて
still not tell us where he's hiding?
何度聞かれて
No
も
matter how many times you ask, won't change the fact that I don't know.
エリカ
Erica, Investigate this entire second floor, starting from one end and going in order. Use the detective's authority to avoid missing a single clue and to see through all types of doors and hidden rooms.
Yes, my master. Natsuhi-san, you're quite slow, aren't you? Can you still not see where this is going?
No need to give it away. Come on, Erica. Take everyone with you and begin the investigation. Erica used her detective's authority to take everyone, even Natsuhi, up to the second floor to search everywhere, starting at one end. Even rooms that were thought to have nothing at all to do with the crime, Erica did not relax in her search in the slightest. Her search was thorough in every single room as they moved through them all.
So, you still won't tell us where Kinzo-san is hiding? Stop saying that! How many times have I told you that I don't know? Natsuhi-san, no matter where we search, we won't ever be to find Kinzo-san, will we?
Of course not. Kinzo doesn't exist. No matter how long the search continues, it's just a waste of time. This is known by both Erica, who was the witch's piece, and Natsuhi, the one who knew the truth.
In that case, the search will end at the room at the far end of the corridor. In other words, it will have been proven that Kinzo was in any of the rooms except that one. What do you think will happen?
He isn't on the third floor, or the first floor, or the basement. And he isn't in any rooms on the second floor except possibly the one at the end. So he really did exist inside the mansion. And proven that he could not be in any room except for the room at the end. In other words, this was Hempo's Raven. Because it had been established that a living Kinzo didn't exist anywhere except the final room at the end of the corridor. That only meant that the living Kinzo exists in the final room. And that room at the end of the corridor was...
Which room is at the end of the corridor again?
Man, Madoto was munching another refill of popcorn.
That's Natsuhi's room, Lady Lando Delta.
In other words, Kinzo had no place to hide except inside Natsuhi's room. Do I need to say it in red?
Of course!
Kinzo does not exist anywhere outside Natsuhi's room.
Well then, that means his room is the only place left. Another thing we have learned, that Kinzo-san isn't anywhere outside this room. But this is my room! Where exactly in my room do you think Father is hiding?
In a rage, Natsuki unlocked the door to the room and pointed inside. Of course, Kinzo was nowhere to be seen. Do you see Father anywhere in here? Look!
Yes, it seems as though he isn't here. You think he realized we're coming and escaped out the window again?
Kinzo was in the last room meant that he didn't exist anywhere. There's no living Kinzo outside the mansion. There's no living Kinzo inside the mansion. Therefore, no living Kinzo exists. However, Erika didn't make that argument. She had brought the things to this point, but she didn't make it checkmate. This because Brinkaso didn't want to win by courting Natsuki with the red truth, by forcing Natsuki to admit into a humiliating resignation.
I have not only been searching Kinzo-san himself all this time. I've been looking when he found out all the Kinzo-san hid in these places between midnight and the morning. And no such signs have existed. In other words, we know from midnight until morning. Kinzo was always holed up in the same room. And that was Natsuki's room.
It means the checkmate of red truth has finally trapped the piece known as the delusion of Kinzo inside Natsuki's room.
So, Natsuki, as soon as you were with Kinzo in this room until morning, do you still claim you didn't know where he was? I'll not do with the red truth. The entire duration of the night between midnight and morning. And then Kinzo could not have existed anywhere outside Natsuki's room. Based on this truth, I permit to continue the debate under the assumption that he could have only existed in Natsuki's room.
Plea bargain. Come on, Natsuki. Even someone as stupid as you must have realized the fixture, and now. This is your last chance. Make Kinzo the culprit. Call the Ashirama family head a criminal and crush the head's honor to save your own skin. You show that you have the guts to do that. I'll change the plot into one of the tragic heroine taking the blame to protect the family's head. Father is innocent! I cannot call Father a criminal!
Deal refused. Okay, Burn, go and fuck her up. Do it!
For the entire duration of the night between midnight and morning, a living Kinzo cannot exist in any place except inside your bed. What? And? What do you mean by that?
After conducting a thorough search of this room, and detailed forensic evidence that I totally fucking have, I discovered that Kinzo does not exist anywhere in this room between midnight and morning. However, your blood alone is excluded from this.
A shocked silence dominated the room. Natsuki and Lee forgot to close her own mouth.
last night. And around the time the goat was discovered, I estimated 2300. Kinzo-san escaped from the window on the third floor so I can do the bed in your room. And as an even more unfortunate result of my investigation, it has proven that you were also sleeping in that bed.
I'll repeat that. For the entire duration of the night between midnight and morning, a living Kinzo could not exist in any place except inside Natsui's bed. And last night, Natsui also slept in that same bed.
Wow, look how close they were. See, we're so close to each other, you stepped sharing the same pillow.
Blue truth. Therefore, we can conjecture that Ushiromi and Natsu and Ushiromi Kinzo had sexual relations with each other. Wow, so a man and woman shared the same bed all night long. How dare you! Suggest that I would. To do such a thing with the father I respected so much! I won't allow you to say such a thing.
Natsu! Is there a truth that counter this blue truth? Of course you're a witch, so there's no red that you can use. So speak the red truth within in your place. If you can show me convincing proof.
How could there possibly be proof of that? How low are you willing to sink to mock me? You vile creature! Natsu tried to attack Erika, but Eva pinned her arms down her back so she couldn't do anything.
Oh, how unsightly. Or take revenge against the Ushiromi family. You first came to take control of everything the family owned. Oh, for that reason, use your body as a weapon instead of Kinzo-san.
I would never do anything of the sort. I never give my body to anyone except my husband.
I understand why you want to deny it. A testimony from several witnesses make it clear that you had his repeated serial meetings with Kinzo-san. I mean, even last night, you and Kinzo-san were all in his study when you went to say goodnight to him, weren't you? I thought I have a team of piece of testimony claiming that they were set with clear traces of sexual relation. Are you insane? Who was it? Who said something so ridiculous? Goda? Shannon? Was it Eva-san? Yes, she was behind something this ludicrous. Who was it? Who? I acknowledge receipt of the relevant party's testimony. This is pretty fatal. No room for doubt now.
Hey, Natsui.
もうあんたの名誉なんて
Looks like you don't even have a scrap of honor left now.
最悪の
I'll give you one final chance where I weave you the worst of all possible fragments.
もう一度だけチャンスをあげるわ金蔵はいませんでしたって
Say to me that there was no Kinzo.
そうよね
Yeah, Nazi, you sure are stubborn.
だわもう後ろ宮家なんて
They show me a family's already internal ribbons, right?
そんなにも金蔵がいることにして遺産問題を
This is my final trial, entrusted to me by father, protecting the honor of the Ushomiya family.
最後の試練です夫の事業は必ず結実します
My husband's business will definitely bear fruit.
それによって
And we can use that to repay our debts. I cannot hand over the inheritance of the Ushomiya family.
いかないのですお父様の命令
I will protect father's honor and my husband's.
私が守りますそれが
That is my mission.
私の使命なんです
死者の名誉を
I
守
protect the honor of the dead is an admirable trait.
死者じゃないわ
He's not one of the dead.
夏日
We're talking about the honor of giving you in delusion inside Natsui's head.
妄想の名誉よ本当の金
Hiro Kinzo never once ordered Natsui to do anything like protect his honor. As Natsui screamed, she fell down to her hands and knees. She no longer had any way to reject the fake truth that Brinkestelle and Erica had weaved.
ゲームマスターラムダデルタの
By my name as the Game Master Lambda Delta, I know that Blaber Casto is the victor of this game.
ことを認めるわ意義あるものは名乗りを上げ
If
よ
anyone has any objections, state your name now.
Of course, there were none. All those who might have objected have been erased.
意義あるものなし
Well, guess there's no objections.
ベルあんたの勝ち
You
よ
win, Burn, and what a win it was! I mean, you actually haven't solved all the mysteries, and there's still a lot of questions remaining. And currently, it looks like the witch does totally exist, but if I don't acknowledge it, it isn't a problem.
真相のかけらをあなたが紡ぎなさい
Now weave the fragment of truth.
Sure.
それでは私が
Then I will now weave the truth.
これが
The truth is this of the sad and foolish tale.
真相よ泣き笑いし
Although, what I really wanted was for Nachi to admit to her crime, so smiling through tears and then tell her own story.
それがおや
After all, that's the standard in the genre, right? After being forced into an unwanted marriage, Nazi developed a grudge against the Ushomiya family and was filled with a desire for revenge. Trial summary, page 3. As revenge for financially ruining her birth family, Nazi also plotted to take over the Ushomiya family's fortune. Trial summary, page 4. When Nazi learned the wealth of the Ushomiya family was for all intents and purposes controlled by Kinzo himself, she initiated sexual relations to curry favor with him and managed to ensnare him. Trial summary, page 7. Brinkestelle documents page 682. To curry favor with Kinzo, Nachi repeatedly disguised herself as Beatrice, a witch inflicting Kinzo's imagination and engaged in sexual acts. Kinzo saw Nachi dressed as a mistress of the past and was easily ensnared. Disney a servant had to witness her in this outfit, forming part of the basis of the Legend of the Witch. Trial summary, page 8. Senate evidence, number 17. Bring us out documents, page 802. However, the night of 1986, 10:04, Ushiramia Battler discovered the hidden gold. Nazi planned the crimes that Rhodas raised a fuss and insisted that Battler should succeed the headship. She murdered the children in the cousin's room and tried to frame Battler for the crime. Furthermore, Genji was murdered because he was opposed to the scheme. Later on, Hideyoshi was also murdered. At this point, Nachi displayed strong intent to murder all those involved without discrimination. Trial summary, page 27. Some of the materials, B, page 61. Burn Casello documents, page 1103. The concrete details of the crime are as follows. 1986, 10:04, 2400. Nachi decided to commit the crimes. Here's Genji refused to assist her when she asked, she murdered him. She then murdered her husband Kraus in his own room. Trial summary, page 40. Bring us out documents, page 1105. Great Court Internal Documents, Library of Law, A099974. Afterwards, she went to her cousin's room on the upper floor of the guest house. Waited for Rosa to join the rest and killed George, Jessica, Maria, and Rosa. She mutilated the necks of the bodies. Afterwards, because there were people in the downstairs lounge, she waited in an empty room upstairs. She entered this room until the people in the lounge burst and went to bed. Trial summary, page 41. Some of the materials, S, page 10. Burning us out documents, page 1131. Great Court Internal Documents, Library of Law, A09, number 9974. Leaving the lounge is burst just after 3 a.m. Nazi left the empty room and escaped from the guest house. She returned to her room where she met with Kinzu, who had been hiding there. They spent the rest of the night there together. Kinzu left early next morning and concealed himself somewhere near the guest house. Trial summary, page 41. Some materials, S, page 29. Bring us cell documents, page 1200. Great Court Internal Documents, Library of Law, A09, number 9974. Afterwards, Kinzu saw his chance and carried off the bodies of 6 victims one by one, hiding them. Unfortunately, these hidden bodies have not been found. Trial summary, page 42. Cellular materials, S, page 37. Great Court Internal Documents, Library of Law, A09, number 9974. Nazi, who had failed in her scheme to cast addition on Battler, changed her plan to include the murder of all present. Trial summary, page 458. Some of the materials, T, page 19. Burning us out documents, page 1348. Great Court Internal Documents, Library of Law, A09, number 9974. Praying that one of those present will eventually want to take rest in a private room. Nazi concealed herself inside the closet in one of the guest rooms. When Hideyoshi visited the room at approximately 1300, she murdered him. Trial summary, page 61. Some of the materials, T, page 26. Great Court Internal Documents, Library of Law, A09, number 9974. Nazi once again concealed herself in the closet from time the others became aware of the incident to the time that she carried out Hideyoshi's body. Furthermore, as proof of this, a button from Nachi's clothes were found in the closet. Afterwards, she exited the closet and tried to return to her own room. However, Furudo Erica discovered her on the way and Nachi confessed to her crimes after questioning. Great Court Official Notice number 01724434. Trials of Illusions number 0147-007982 1986 1005 2400 decides as follows. Ushiromi and Natsuki confess to the crimes. For a period of 30 months following the announcement, related documents to be perused at the Great Court Legal Office's Direct Document Management Center for subsection. Great Court Deputy Attorney General, Chief Inquisitor, Delano A. Knox.
Then just say that I did it, okay? That's what you want me to say, right?
As though she had given up and decided that it would be useless to try and talk her way out of this any longer. And Natsuki said that and screamed. It was a sad incident. I want to believe that, despite the pitiable circumstances which led her to marriage and the Ushiromi family, and Natsuki had been able to find some measure of small happiness with Uncle Kraus and Jessica. Instead, Natsuki's own hand, Uncle Kraus, and even her beloved daughter Jessica had been heartlessly killed. It was even hard to believe that grandfather had been accomplice and hid the bodies. However, several people giving clear testimony that grandfather's mental state for these last 2 years had been far from what anyone could consider normal. Perhaps possessed by mad devotion to the mistress he had lost long ago, grandfather might have truly believed that Aunt Natsuki was a reincarnation of Beatrice. Where's grandfather now? Like Eric had theorized, did he really believe he could revive Beatrice by carrying out murders following the epitaph? Has he come to Natsuki's cajolery? Right now, is he holding some kind of disturbing ritual with the bodies he carried away?
Are you satisfied now? Is what you wanted me to say, right?
And Natsuki sobbed as she spoke.
This is your revenge, isn't it? You, the man from 19 years ago.
The man from 19 years ago that Natsuki kept mentioning was the man who had supposedly framed her. However, referring to a man from 19 years ago was as far as she would go, as he made attempts at all to explain what actually happened back then.
I'm certain that upon that man is among us right now. I'm sure that right now that man is ridiculing me as me through one of you. So tell me, are you happy now? Has a little of that pain and suffering you've endured for 90 years gone away? I finally understand. The reason you brought me down in this point is because you want to make me admit it, right? Natsuki-san? After Natsuki, us, there's actually no one here. Please stop this insanely desperate charade and quit pretending that someone who doesn't exist actually does.
Erica laughed mockingly, but as Aunt Natsuki looked at us, no, she looked at some being behind us. She hung her head and shook. Then she confessed to her sin.
I committed murder. So, you finally admit your crime directly? No! This is not about what has happened today and yesterday. I confess to a murder that occurred 19 years ago.
The adults all whispered together, wondering what this was about. because they had never really heard about a murder case 19 years ago. 19 years ago, I committed a sin. I couldn't tolerate it. That baby. Baby? Now what are you talking about? That isn't the crime! On that day 19 years ago, Father entrusted me with a baby. Since I was having so much trouble convincing King Cesar, Father told me to adopt a child. He brought me a baby which he said was a welfare institute. He put it in my arms. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was to me as a woman? With a mix of conflicting emotions of anger, sadness, regret, and possibly defiance. And Nazi confessed. The humiliation as a woman that others had given up hope on her ever bearing a child. And also the innocent little unpleasant feeling being made to nurse a strange baby. It caused her great sadness and rage. And before very many nights passed, it ate a hole into her heart. And then I sold my soul to demons. Happened when I went on a walk through the rose garden of the harbor, along with a servant holding the baby. I wanted to be alone. The servant woman holding the baby faithfully followed me everywhere. I was unable to even tell her to stop following me, and we were unable to escape from the child's crying. That day marked in the beginning of 19 long, headache-filled years. Then we were by the fence overlooking the cliff. If by taking that baby and throwing it down onto the rocky beach far below me, I could make all of this go away. I really did hear that demonic temptation in my ear. And for this moment, I thought how wonderful it would be if I really could do that. And let my ear to that temptation. And that was when the baby stepped on a large rock, twisted her ankle, and staggered. She leaned against the rough fence, and at that moment I thought I heard the fence crack loudly. I told her to look out and went to grab her shoulder. No, I shouldn't be so vague. I'll repent. I'll confess. At that moment, I'm sure that as I told her to look out, with both hands, I reached for that servant's shoulders. And then I pushed her away hard. The rough fence snapped from the base, and the servant, along with the baby held in her arms, fell down towards the rocky beach below. Even though I remember that moment vividly, for some reason I vaguely recall a very strange feeling. It almost felt as though instead of falling, the two of them were suddenly swallowed up into empty space.
二人が音もなく飲み込まれて消えたようにさえ感じたの。だから私は二人が
So I never heard the sound of them crashing to the rocky.
いえ、きっと聞いているのです。
No, I must have heard it.
でも
Because I wanted to think that they'd simply disappeared.
その
I was erased that sound from my memory.
きっと記憶から消し去ってしまったのです。
And then,
私は一
for
瞬
an instant, I thought it was a dream.
信じました。あの高さ
It was high enough that I couldn't see the two of them below by just leaning over.
眼下の二人は見えません。だから二人が落ちたことさえ、ほんの数秒前のことさえ現実のことなのかわからなくて。
Depends if those a few seconds earlier had actually happened or not.
きっと私は
I was been wishing so strongly that child would fall from there.
落ちればいいのにと願いすぎて。白昼夢を
That I hallucinated the whole thing.
そう自らに思い
Trying to make myself believe this, I hurried back to the rose garden.
赤ん坊
I decided to say that I left the baby with the servant and I'd been taking a rest alone in the garden.
ここで休んでいたことにしました。そして
Then,
お父様
Father asked what had happened to the baby.
子供はどうしたのかと問われ任せた潮見の姿が見えぬと空にね
It caused a stir over the disappearance of the servant who had left the baby with. Eventually, the broken fence was discovered, and the two corpses were found at the bottom of the cliff. The baby's origins apparently couldn't be made known, so its existence was hushed up. Their story was that the servant simply died in an accident alone. That's right.
私
I stole away two innocent lives in one go.
二人の罪の命を奪ったのです。気の毒な
As for the poor servant,
遺族に
her family was generously compensated.
真相を知ら
It was enough to satisfy her aged husband who grieved over the unfortunate accident.
それになって
He never knew the truth.
そしてほんの数年前
Then, just a few years ago, he died of old age and confessed the truth over his grave, apologizing.
真相を告白し謝罪しました。
But
しかし私は
to this day,
今日まで
I have never apologized to that baby.
謝罪したことはありません。そう
Yes,
それが
that's what you're after,
あ
isn't
な
it?
たの目的でしょう。だから私は今ここで
So right here, right now, I'll confess to my crime.
後ろに
I, Ushiromiya Natsui,
19年前
did
にあなた
19 years
を
ago push you off a cliff
突き落として殺そうとしました。
and try to kill you. But
あなたは死ん
you didn't die after all.
こうして生き
You're still alive. You still call me mother.
私を母さんと呼びこの島へ帰って
You came to this island
こうして
and you took revenge on me, didn't you?
されたのですね。あなたはこの19年間
When you learned
母と呼ぶ
that you were pushed off a cliff by a woman you should have been calling mother for the past 19 years. You must have lived a life so full of hatred.
そして
And now, you've taken everything I've gained since pushing you off that cliff.
あなたを突き落としてからね18
18 years of my life and smashed it all to pieces.
すべて打ち壊しました。もう私
I
や
no longer have my beloved
愛
husband
した夫も
or daughter.
娘もいません。そして私
And
に
I've lost even my honor.
でもなくこうして
And I'm being called a murderer. No. I really am a murderer, aren't I?
人殺しですものね。ええ、そうです。
Yes, that's right.
あなたの目論見通り
It all went according to your plans.
私
I'm now regarded as a killer.
人殺しとみなされているどうですか
How is this for you? Is this
君
enough
にはこれで十
for your revenge? My husband and daughter have been killed.
殺しの汚名を
I've been made to look like a murderer, like an adulteress even.
こうして
After seeing me through such terrible humiliation, are you satisfied? Yes.
そりゃ満足でしょう
I bet you're quite satisfied.
私
Because my family,
家族
my honor,
名誉も全て
everything has been taken from me. After all this, you still claim that you were framed? Seriously, you just don't know when to give up.
往生際の悪い聞こえていますか
Can you hear me? You're the cursed baby from 19 years ago!
これで
Are you satisfied now?
あなた
You've taken everything from me!
まだ
What more do you want? Please, just
私は
forgive me.
許した
ダメだな。
No good.
バトラさん
Battler Sam,
何か言いました
did you say something?
全然ダメだぜ。
No good at all.
Battler? Un?
ああ、ダメだな。
Yeah, it's no good. It's no goddamn good at all.
Ah!
Erica, Delanor.
はい我が主
Yes, my master.
お呼びです
You can't.
あなたたちは
I want you two to stay in this fragment
残る第
and explain everything in the remaining first through fourth games.
もはや魔女幻想を主張する哀れな
That pitiful transient witch no longer exists to assert her witch illusions. This was naked truth with extreme prejudice.
お任せを
Leave it to me, my master.
このフルダエリカ
There's no mystery that Furuno Erica cannot solve.
当然よ。
Of course.
それでこそ私の駒、私の分身だわ。
That's why you're my piece, my double. Ringezo wore a massive and a horrible smile which Erica shared. Beatrice's witch illusions would disappear. Beatrice's illusions would disappear and the results of all the previous games would be painted over. It had been crushed in every possible way, and only the naked truth remained. To Erica, such a weak truth might as well have been a fish on a chopping board.
過去の4つのゲームのすべて
All 4 prior games, we explain aside the Nazis' crimes are freak exceptions.
もはやベアト
I'm gonna talk about them as the crimes of some witch called Beatrice again.
直ちに返済に
I second by get letter I want to present you a first-rate tale.
ご覧に入れます。ベアトの魔女伝説は
You mustn't leave a single fragment of Beato's Legend of the Witch behind. Rumors among the servants, the way people talk about unexplained events, as though which I caused it. The witch illusions used alongside the illusion of Kinzo. Deal with them all completely.
Of course! I'll get going right away. Could I have the furniture in custody? Hurry to identify their vessels.
The 7 Sisters of Purgatory had already been taken to custody. Those only sisters of Sir Beato now face nothing but denial. One sort of fantasy were they based upon which allowed them to manifest. Everything would be exposed and denied. Eisenrin Jungfrei have already begun its investigation. Our most recent findings indicate that there's a high probability they were produced during the 1960s in New York, or somewhere nearby. An aid has already been sent out to the location. The 1960s. The 7 Sisters of Purgatory were made in US. Even though they brag about being furniture connected to King Solomon serving a 1,000-year-old witch, they're a total sham. So, what are they?
According to the report, there's a group of big-time swindlers. They make money by selling high-priced imitation goods to rich fans of the occults. The deceived millionaires resell the articles with invented histories, and this may have caused the items to become falsely deified among collectors. We are rushing to find confirmation and further details. Ishimo Kinzo was apparently a big customer of theirs who pay exorbitant sums for the most blatantly fake objects.
And that's what the 7 Sisters of Purgatory really are. That's ridiculous. A total sham, just what I expect from one of Beato's witch illusions.
7つの大罪を語る分際でイミテーションの見ありもの風情だったわけです。
So despite calling them the 7 deadly sins, they're actually cheap fake souvenirs. Of course. First time I saw them, I figured they were nothing more than paperweights at some shady souvenir shop. Paperweights.
Have you confronted the 7 Sisters with the truth yet?
まだです
No, not yet.
あいつらまだ
They still seriously believe
以上前に偉大なる
that they were created by a great musician over 1,000 years ago.
本気で信じてやがります。早く完璧な証
I
拠
can't wait to thrust the truth and perfect evidence in their faces.
自分たち
And let them know that their mere pay wage worth less than $30 US.
思い知らせてやりたいです。その時
I wonder what kind of expression will register on their faces as they lose all hope. I can't wait.
その際には私は
Call me when you do it.
最高の紅
I can watch with some blackest tea and driest plums. Bio's wish illusions have already been seen through, and have been proven that every one of them was simply the result of a human fantasy. What kind of fantasies created them and what was their basis? The illusion would be confronted with this perfectly proven truth. And at that time they would disperse like smoke and be completely annihilated. This was called execution.
処刑は見せ物で
An execution is not a show.
原則
As a general rule, it is not open to the public.
元老院議員であらせられる大ベルンカステル教による
This is an inspection by the great Lady Berncastel, member of the Senate. So she claims that the great court is performing its duties satisfactory.
異端審問
Do you, a mere inquisitor, intend to obstruct us?
ええ、そうよ。
Yes, that's right.
ドラノールたち
I'm just serving as a representative of the Senate to make sure you observe the proper procedures when you carry out your work.
私は元老院を代表して視察するだけよ。ワルギリア、ロノレ、ガープたちは現在拘束へ向けて準備中です。
We are currently preparing to take fertility of Ronove and Gap into custody as well. The Chester System Bureau Guards are conducting that investigation.
無論、その後にベアトリーチェに
Of course, after that is done, we will detain next to the 3 Chester Sisters, who are also connected with Beatrice.
ドラノール、
Eleanor, what is the true nature of the Chester Sisters?
高い確率で犯行に用いた
We believe there's a high likelihood that their vessels are weapons used in the crimes.
ガートルード上級
My senior Gertrude has formed a dedicated team.
前期の
We are currently investigating their individual cases.
シエスタ姉妹の書店も楽しみです。
One at a
初
time,
めて一度に
or all of them at once.
ラバの缶を
No one's stupid enough to empty the entire can of tea leaves in the pot at once.
一さじずつゆっくり味
You gotta enjoy it slowly, one spoonful at a time.
まったくです。
Let's do their executions on consecutive days. One for each witch and piece of furniture.
一人ずつ連日の書亭賞を必ずやお届けします。素敵じゃない。
Wonderful. After all, there really are a lot of them. Looks like we'll be able to join us those for a full 2 weeks. Maybe we could let them decide amongst themselves which of them will be executed first. Make sure you think something great for their execution concepts. I enjoy executions, both old and new from the east and west every day.
処刑は大法院規定の
The rules state that the method of execution is to follow the great court regulations.
お任せを、我が主。
Leave it to me, my master. I'm emotionally prepared to do a fascinating execution show.
も四つ咲き系くらいにはなさいよ。
I expect quartering at the very least.
無論です。
Of course. I should make a list of the highest rooms I choose from countries across the world, from Europe to Asia,
東西のあらゆる
which were used by kingdoms east and west for nothing less than treason against their king.
起用される各国最高の処刑を列挙してご覧に入れます。私からも
I like Bro's execution method myself.
それに悩むこと
Hiring that will be a perfect way to relax on those sleepless nights.
清涼剤だからアイデアを練って今度手紙で送るわ。
I'll come up with something with an idea and send you a letter soon.
かしこまりました、我が主。
Certainly, my master.
ではベルンカステル式はその最後の
Then we'll use Burn Castello style execution in the grand finale.
すべての幻想を打ち破り
And at the very end, when all the illusions have been broken, Beatrice's system magic is completely crushed,
ベアトリーチェの
I should pursue them with the finest execution you desire at the execution of Beatrice.
ありがとうエリカ。
Thank you, Erica.
あなたのおかげで私は病の辛さを当分の間忘れることがで
Thanks
き
to you, it seems I'll be able to forget the pain in my illness for a little while.
あなたは最高だ。
You're just perfect.
私の駒、私の分身、そして私の可愛い娘。
My piece, my double, and my precious daughter. Erica, I will give you an honor and a reward.
ベアとの
Beato's great symbol with the portrait in the reception hall.
あの大広間の肖像があれを外
Take it down, smash it to make firewood, bake a cake over that fire, and eat it.
ケーキを焼いて食べなさい。そして残った
Then you have my permission to put your own portrait up in that empty frame.
ことを許すわ。
Thank you very much. It is the greatest of honors.
ベアトリーチェの名前
You will eradicate and erase Beatrice's name and all traces of her.
抹消。それが全て終わり
Till that is all finished, I already become the master of this sealed off Rokujima.
閉じられた六軒島の主となることを命じるわ。奇跡の魔女ベルンカステル
By
の
the name of the
名
Witch of Miracles, Burn Castell.
その日まであなたに魔女の位
I hereby grant you the rank of witch until that day arrives.
これよりあなたは真実の魔女エリカを名乗りなさい。
From now on, you will call yourself Erica, Witch of Truth.
A witch of truth?
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
我が主
Thank you so very much, my master.
この栄誉に恥じぬ
I tried to work even harder so this honor is not wasted.
Even though she was nothing more than a piece, she was being granted the honor of calling herself witch like her master, only for a brief stretch of time. Erica was so moved at having her artwork acknowledged in this greatest form that she trembled.
ドラノールは引き続きエリカを補佐し
Delanor continued to aid
そ
Erica
の進捗
and
を
report on her
私に
progress
報
to me.
告しなさい。良いです。
As you wish.
ところで
By the way, where's Lambda?
あちらにおられます
She is over there. From the guest seating on the second floor, she pointed downwards. Lambda Delta could be seen beneath Balor, who hung there dead, run through by the red longsword.
後ろ宮バト
You Shiro Mia Battler.
面
You're
白
an
い
interesting guy.
そしてもっと面白くなれた
He could have been so much more interesting.
残念ね
Oh, such a shame.
I think it was a wonderful way to die.
エリカ
Erica, you can hang Balor's corpse in the mansion's reception hall. Next time I come to visit this fragment, welcome me in front of it.
Certainly, my master. I'll make that first man to turn mine into your victory. That sounds wonderful, super stylish. Making totem with a blaster and make a beautiful white statue. And it'd be better if you decorated him all cute. Yes, Lady Lambda Delta. I will strive to answer your expectations. Oh, and congrats on getting your witch promotion. You thought it's only temporary. Welcome me as a friend.
Erica was so overcome with emotions that tears came to her eyes. There's no greater pressure exists for a piece than having his efforts acknowledged by its master. In the end, I'd like to have a Beto stuffed too. Then I'll have her displayed on high in the reception hall.
Lake Shirakaba?
The human hunting count.
You know, I read that back when I wasn't a witch. And how humans who obtain eternal life can become so cruel. I always found that strange. At the time, I honestly couldn't relate.
After becoming a witch and living 1,000 years, I fully understand it. That writer could understand cruelty really well in the truest sense.
Where to next? I guess we go off in opposite directions like always?
Only because I don't want to bore you.
Thanks, Bern. But you can be sure that I'll count to 100 and then start searching for you again.
You never let me get bored, do you? That's why I like you, love you. Let's meet again somewhere. Of course, that might be 100 or 1,000 years from now, or never again for all of eternity.
It'll work out. See, friends, it's time to get better. You love each other.
The third man.
No, Children in Paradise, of course.
Each time you smash one of those countless fragments that glitter like a starry night. You escape the poisonous assailing evening's worth of boredom. Even you would want to count the stars in the sky.
Oh, not bad.
The witches known as Voyagers travel across the countless glittering futures of possibility, and gobble them up trying to escape their illness called boredom for as long as they can. The tiny fragment created by the human known as Beatrice, now been gobbled up by the two witches, and had lost its glitter. The two had earlier called themselves rivals in front of Beto. Now stop that charade and laugh together playfully. Erica, the new ruler of this fragment, believe the truth and create the tale that leads to this world's demise. The next game was the sixth game, right?
Yes, it's a 6th game.
Decide the title for episode 6 yourself. After all, you're already the spinner of this tale, as well as its master.
Thank you so very much. Actually, I've already decided on one.
Oh, already? Then let me hear it. What's the title?
It is episode 6. Actually, I'd like to tease a bit, but I'll tell you. Come on, stop being a smartass and tell us! A newbie witch like you shouldn't be teasing your seniors. Episode 6, Checkmate of the Golden Witch.
In the cathedral devoid people, a figure could be seen staring up at the heavens. It just pierced with a long red sword, which pinned in its place to the ground. It was the figure of Balor. Ironically, it looked just like what had been done to Beto with blue wedges in the 4th game. Balor died quite some time ago. No, in this place comes to death means something except that one has stopped thinking. Therefore, in that sense, Balor's not dead. After being defeated in a fight over the truth, he no longer had the strength to think of a way to resist. And so, he was dead. Delanor's massive longsword, which had been left in place of a tombstone, fastened Balor to the spot even after his death. This was being lit by a faint light seeping out of a high skylight. Quiet footsteps rang out across the still cathedral. From the darkness down a pillar, a woman slowly stepped forwards. It was Beatrice. Her eyes had no light in them, and looked the same way they had for so long in the Gone Land. Still muddled over with gray. Previously she couldn't even drink black tea probably without assistance. But now, though it was slow, and though there was no life in her eyes, she was surprisingly walking. And with slow, deliberate steps, she reached Balor, who was still dead and pierced. Then, slowly, she touched him. She tugged on his sleeve. However, Balor showed no reaction, and she realized that it wasn't sleep but death. And the witch with a forlorn gaze dropped her head even lower. Then she quietly whispered, You liar. Beto softly touched Balor. Then she pressed her forehead against Balor's chest. There was no longer any heartbeat. It wasn't just because he had surrendered. It was because the witches had banished him from the game board. So now, Balor would never return. So now, the young witch Beatrice had no more reason to exist. Thank you, liar. Goodbye, and I'm sorry. Then, the in which her task completed, scattered as a spray of gold. In the Gone Land, the gray rain can gently continue to fall. There's a faint aroma of good black tea. You stare blankly as serves the tea. There is Virgilia continuing her knitting, along with me and Delanor talking to each other. This is a flashback. Flashback to memory of Balor's, which Delanor's sword might have given him as it pierced him. Flashback at the time Delanor kind of visited the tea party in the Gone Land. The same goes for me. I will not be caught unaware in our next bout. Perfect. I'll take you on anytime. Give me everything you got. You have my word. Everything I have. Delanor. Thought she was a ruthless killer dog without a heart. Maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Of course, neither of us will show any mercy when fighting on the game board. For a while, we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden. We quietly enjoyed our tea. Still, it really is terrifying. The way you fight. Nox's Ten Commandments, or the Decalogue, wasn't it? This fall back to the mystery genre, right?
はい
Yes, they are commandments conceived by my father.
Hidden doors must not exist. That's Nox's third commandment, right? That means there's no need for detectives to even look for hidden doors. Sounds pretty ridiculous. We're gonna get so talk about this. So that even certain hidden doors was a waste of time because they're forbidden by Nox's third commandment. I guess you want to argue back and say it's so uncommon for a rich family's mansion to have a hidden door to build. It isn't so uncommon, rather. Apparently, you can get away with that kind of rule in the mystery genre. As an aside, there exist many wonderful mysteries in which hidden doors appear, where hidden doors are the theme. Of course, this is limited to novels which have the premise that hidden doors exist. Without that premise, hidden doors mustn't exist. So if that premise isn't there, there's no need to search for hidden doors. I think it's probably the essence of a ridiculous argument. I get the feeling that detectives are trying to expose the truth in an illusion, trying to mask it with fiction, are getting blended together, leading to a bizarre form of argument similar to Devil's Proof. Making a locked room murder seem to be accomplished by a witch with magic, that's fantasy. Showing that it was humans crime done with tricks, that's anti-fantasy. Testing all the possibilities exposed where those tricks are, that's mystery. And claiming that possibilities with no hints supporting them on worthy investigation, that's also mystery? Hidden doors by definition are hidden in a way that there can't be any clues. Claiming that hidden doors therefore necessarily exist even if the detectives can't find them, be anti-mystery? That's enough of that. Sorry, I mean, it's too far of a digression from the riddles I'm actually supposed to be solving. My fight is very simple. I'm only fighting to explain that it was possible a human to carry out these crimes, which were supposedly carried out by a witch. So discussing about mystery and anti doesn't serve any purpose. I can't bring myself down any particular interest in rules known as Nox's Decalogue.
ノクスはお
Do
嫌
you
いです
dislike Nox?
苦手だな。
It doesn't work for me.
隠し扉の
There's something that's wrong about making it possible to deny the existence of all hidden doors without investigating.
悪魔の証明並みに
It's about as dubious as the Devil's Proof.
ファンタジーのタイ
Even though this would be the exact opposite of fantasy, it somehow feels like it's the same kind of argument.
になっちまってる気がするぜ。言い過ぎた。
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
お前の親父が
That was the one who made them, after all.
お気になさらず
Pay that no mind.
戯れに
After all, there are some who say they are nothing more than mindless
い
fun.
らっしゃいますので
バトラ君には実会はかなり傲慢なもの
The
に感じられ
Decalogue
る
feels like something very arrogant to you, Balor-kun.
正直なところを言えば
To be honest, yeah.
隠し扉は
There was
存
even
在してはいけない
every detective who said he didn't need to look for hidden doors because they must not exist.
そんな探偵がいたら頭のね
Everyone should start looking around on the floor to see if some of the screws are coming loose.
バトラ
In that case, Balor,
その第
let us say we did away with the third commandment.
そうなったら密室
In that
ミ
case,
ステリーはど
what
う
would happen to locked room mysteries?
What if Nox's third command of hidden doors are forbidden didn't exist?
つまり
You mean if hidden doors became okay to use as the solution to locked room mysteries?
手がかりや伏線のある隠し扉ではありません
I do not mean hidden doors with hints or foreshadowing.
隠しなのですから
I mean hidden doors that even the detective cannot find because, of course, they are hidden. Balor-kun, you often fight by using a devil's proof to propose an undiscoverable element X.
つまりは
That's what this is about.
最悪だな
That'd be horrible. Locked room mysteries would just unravel with stories.
破綻しちまう
There's no way of saying that those kind of stories would simply no longer work. No one would want to try solving the mystery in the first place if they knew the answer might just be an unforeseeable hidden door.
せめて隠し扉はありませんと保
You
証
aren't
してもらって
first given some guarantee that no hidden doors exist.
推理する
You don't feel like trying to deduce anything.
な
Ah, I see.
ノックス第三
Nox's third commandment is needed.
それがなければ
That locked room mysteries wouldn't even be worth anyone's time.
読み物にもなりゃしね
推理する気も起きない
If you don't feel like trying to deduce anything, what does that mean?
つまり読む気もしねえって
Well,
ことだな。
it means you don't even feel like reading to begin with.
そういうことです。
That is correct.
人間は推理可能
Humans are weak creatures who cannot even think unless they have assurance that reasoning is possible.
生き物なのです。
推理可能
That reasoning is possible.
すなわち
In other words, they need encouragement that they can solve it if they do their best.
That might actually be true. The same with exercising. If they're told to run 10 laps around the campus, you can tough it out. If you're made to run without even knowing how many laps it's going to be, you'll probably get tired out before you make it around 3 times. Same thing goes for thinking and reasoning. Depending on whether or not a problem is guaranteed to be solvable, the way we humans react to it changes completely.
推理小説で探偵が犯人が
In detective novels, there's always a scene where the detective announces he's discovered who the true culprit is.
あれはつまり
That's a sign saying the hints have all been given in the previous parts of the story.
読者諸君
So, dear readers, please try to reason it out.
へえ。
Huh,
単なるお約
I always thought it was just a classic line. Never knew it had any meaning.
意地悪に言うと
to put it harshly,
探偵が
as long as the detective doesn't say that,
どんなに
even the most
ミステリーを
avid
愛する
mystery lover who prides himself on his deductions won't feel like trying to solve
記
it.
憶が生じないということです
過去のゲームに
In the previous games, you were like that yourself, were you not?
I'm gonna mention it. Man, that really was the case. The fight against Vito began in earnest starting with the second game, I think. When Vito threw locker room mysteries at me at first, I didn't seriously try to attack with them. After all, I knew nothing except that the people had died in the locked room and the windows and doors were all locked from the inside. I had basically no hints, so I refused to debate on the grounds that I couldn't fight because the lack of clues made reasoning impossible. After that, Vito stared at me, didn't she? Testing whether I repeat that over and over forever in endless repetition of moves. At that time, Vito said this.
貴様ら無能どもがいつも嘆いてみせる
The reason you encounter fools always stop thinking and then moan out, it is a lack of information.
そして
If you're then given information, you start doubting whether information is true enough by denying the basis.
根拠否定便利よな
Aren't those convenient?
無能を棚上げする実に小気味よい言葉よ
Then she said she'd give me reliable information that couldn't be denied, and created the rule called the Red Truth. Only after we had done all that for me did the curtain finally rise on my battle with her.
俺はベアトに
So,
この物
once I finally had the guarantee that I could solve this tale if I tried,
初めて
that's when I stepped in the ring with her for the first time.
ベアトリッチェ
Beatrice.
不思議な
She is a strange person.
謎こそ
Mysteries are the only spaces where witches can live. And yet she herself began to give you the red truth, a method by which those mysteries could be
あな
solved.
たに与え始めたのですね
You could say the Red Truth is a hint Mito gives me so I'll agree to compete in this war of reasoning. It's a carrot. Being a hint is like she's saying, go on, try solving it. It's possible. An enemy which is guaranteed to be solvable can be called a true enigma.
これではまるでベア
Isn't this almost as though Beto herself is admitting that she
自分で見て
isn't really a witch?
おやおや
Well, now,
確かに
that does
そう
seem
なります
logical.
本当に
She
私
truly is a strange child.
Beto gave no answer. With gray eyes, she did nothing but blankly gaze at the steam rising from her black tea.
我が父
My father created the Decalogue to count as a crutch for the power of thinking.
実戒を生み出したのです決して物事を
It most certainly was not created to arrogantly insist on the way things must be.
思考する力に
Crutch for the power of thinking.
そうです
Yes, Nox's eighth. It is forbidden for the case to be resolved with clues that are not presented. This does not only mean that one must avoid making basic guesses that are not supported by clues.
という意味だけではありません。
逆に言えば
If you turn it around,
出題
it means that the one posing the mystery must present clues which lead to the
し
solution.
なければならないということです。
つまり実戒に従うなら
So, in other words, if the story follows a Decalogue,
全ての謎には必ずヒントがある
all riddles must have hints. And therefore, it's guaranteed that finding the solution is possible.
だと保証されてることになるわけか
I see. So this is what she means by crutch for the power of thinking. If you can believe that's solvable, you start feeling the desire to have a go at those riddles. If you're able to believe that hints do exist, you get fired up rereading the story or search for them.
確かに
I'll admit, it might have the power to encourage people trying to solve it.
勇気を与える力はあるかもしれないな
The Nox Decalogue is often thought of as a series of restrictions imposed by the one who made the mystery, but is also vital for the readers. By using the Decalogue as a crutch, we are given the courage needed to use reasoning, as well as the willpower to reread the tale several times, in search of the clues we know must be hidden there.
硬くて開かないジャム瓶の
It's like the lid of a jar of jam, which is too tight it won't open. It's like the lid of a jar of jam, which is too tight it won't open.
母さんがよく言ってた
Like Mom always used to say.
開かないと思
You think you can't open it? Then it really won't open no matter how hard you try.
スポーツでもそういうのあるよ
Same
な
thing happens in sports.
必ず自分は
They say that whether or not you have a strong injury yourself and believe you can win no matter what.
ないので記録に大きく差
As
が
large
出
as
る
back the records you set. In that case, Nox Decalogue isn't really a set of arrogant and strict restrictions. You can also see it as a way to encourage readers who are trying to solve the mystery, telling them to give it their all, since it's definitely solvable.
面白い解釈
That's an interesting way to interpret it.
しかし
I've heard that not every Decalogue in the world necessarily follows the Decalogue.
必ず実戒を守ってるわけでもないと聞いたぜそういう作品に
If you ran into one of those, wouldn't you feel betrayed?
騙されたってことにはならないのかよ
Even the Decalogue is nothing more than a single interpretation. It does not apply to all mystery stories. Though among fundamentalists is my father's work, it seems there are those who harshly criticize works which violate the Decalogue and call them heresy.
So end of arguments like this in the mystery world. Is this or that famous detective novel a fair mystery? In other words, one that follows Nox's 10 Commandments? That's our argument is already an internal theme of the mystery world. In fact, in mystery discussions, arguments like these sometimes become more heated than talk about the actual solutions.
そりゃ球団
I can understand the criticism.
実戒に
Try your best to solve a mystery, trusting that it follows the Decalogue and it can be solved.
実は
It turns out that was never made to be solved in the first place. I can understand how irritating that must be.
さぞや悔しくて仕方ないだろうぜ
That's right. When fighting with the Decalogue, there's one thing you want to be guaranteed from the beginning. And that is, the beginning of the detective novel would adhere to the Decalogue. If work would label itself as an orthodox mystery, then you have nothing to worry about. However, the mystery genre contains many unorthodox subgenres within it. Does that mean trying to use reasoning in an unorthodox detective novel is a complete waste of time?
それはそれで
Looking at it that way, it really does feel arrogant.
Yes, I also find it extremely sad that my father's Decalogue has been used such as an elitist weapon.
非常に悲しいことです。
お前は実戒を武器にさっきベアトと戦ったわけだわ
So, you just fought using the Decalogue as a weapon.
それはつまり
Can I just prove that this game world of Beatles follows the Nox's Decalogue?
ノックス実戒にのっとっているという証なのか
When I asked that, there was a strange silence. Virgilia, Delnor, and of course Beto all remained silent for a while. Almost as though my question touched the core of something.
それは
that is something I cannot answer myself.
どうして
Why?
これはこの子
This is a game that this child made.
あなたと
A game to determine a winner between you and her.
この子は
She called it confrontation between mystery and fantasy.
別のように呼んでいました。しかし残念ながら
But unfortunately, she has never called it an orthodox mystery.
すなわち
That means you have no guarantee that it follows the
実
Decalogue.
はないということです。
しかし同時に
But at the same time, Miss Beatrice has said that this game is a contest between you and her.
おっしゃっています。それはすなわ
That
ち
means there is room for you to achieve victory.
あなたにも勝利する余地があるということ。
すなわち
In other words,
推理は可能
trying to say that it's possible to deduce the solution?
そう言いたいのか
この子に言わせれば
If you asked her that
推
question,
理は楽しい
she'd probably say that it is.
しかし
However, just as she is the challenger and you are the challenged, the two of you are different creatures.
ベアと
Something Beto might have proposed thinking into itself is insolvable.
あなたにとっても推理
May or may not be something that is solvable for you as well.
For example, let's say we pose a similar riddle that any Japanese person would be familiar with. However, a person we're telling this riddle to is a foreigner with a Japanese English dictionary in their hand. It might be almost impossible to solve. In other words, it's possible to have a one-sided solvable problem. This might be easy for the person here, but extremely difficult with the person trying to solve it. By the way, you know the foreign riddle? Why do dragons sleep all day? The answer is, because they fight nights. It's a riddle from the English realm, so it might be a little tough for a Japanese person.
だからこそ
For that reason,
この物
I cannot promise that this tale is something you would definitely be able to
絶対に
solve.
解けるものだと約束することができません。しかし
However, I can promise you one thing.
赤き真
I will
実
guarantee it with the
それを
red
保証
truth.
します。
なんだ
What?
ベアとは
Beto wanted you to solve
欲
it.
しいと願って解けるように
So she created this game
この物語
and the riddles of this tale to be solvable.
それだけは
That alone I will guarantee you with the red truth.
It was the one guarantee that all those who try to use reasoning desire.
その答え
I do not know whether the answer will be right by following the Decalogue my father created.
ものかはわかりません。しかしバトラー
However, if you run into a tight spot and want a compass for your
我
reasoning,
が実会も
please try using my Decalogue if you remember.
再び挑む勇気と
It might give you renewed courage and possibly even some new discovery.
新しい発見を与えてくれるかもしれません。
ありがとうよ
Thank you.
心底行き詰まったらお前
Thank you. I'm truly stuck with thinking about your fighting style.
っていいのかよ
Are you sure it's alright to have an enemy like this?
お気になされずに
Pay that no mind.
手土産も
I came to this tea party without a gift.
茶花の
I hope you enjoy this in place of a snack.
それに私と
And if you come face to face with me again,
そんな悠長
there will be probably no time to speak of something so casually.
でしょうから
Nox's Decalogue with Virgilia's Red Truth.
ベアとは俺に解いてほしいと願っ
You
て
don't want me to solve the riddles of this game,
解けるように
so she created them to be solvable. In other words, Bio thinks I can solve it. Isn't that proof that it's possible to apply logic to this? Of course, that's from Bio's point of view. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will be possible for me to work it out. But compared to before now, when I didn't even know whether applying reason was possible or impossible, That one sentence might give me a great deal of courage and strength. At least it has the power to silence any negative thoughts about it being just useless anyway. Unless the other party assures you that it's possible to deduce the answer, you won't try. It's almost like love between shy young people. Love? Yes. Unless the other person first proves that they love you, you don't want to love them. Right. With boys and girls, when you hear someone say I love you to them first without being prompted. That's the dream. They don't want to love another person until they're sure the person will love them back. After all, there's something as painful as one-sided love. And the emotional scars of a love that doesn't work out last a long time. Because they're afraid of that pain. More than anything else, they want to ensure the person will love them back. I see. That is an interesting way to explain the relationship between writer and reader in a detective novel. Yes, maybe you can liken detective novels to that. Both the writer and the reader first want the other party to tell them I will solve it, or it can be solved. Until the writers are sure the readers will definitely attempt to solve their story, they don't want to write it. Same goes to the readers. If they are sure they would definitely be able to solve the story if they try, they want to try to read it. They won't want to read it. Because they don't want to write what they consider a masterpiece and hurt when no one reads it. Because they want to apply logic to what they consider a masterpiece and hurt when they realize it was all useless. By that argument, it really isn't true to say that it's like love between shy elementary or middle school aged kids. Even though they are interested, they don't have the courage to reveal their feelings. So they wait uncomfortably for the other person to guess, and by the time summer ends, nothing's happened. Sometimes they'll even hook up with a different person. That's my first love was like. With these one-sided feelings, they can't crest, they lament the passive summer, which will never come again, and the days of the youth ends. The writer who wouldn't write until he gained the support of readers goes for all eternity without releasing his maiden work. The reader who waited for the writer's rise of fame goes their whole life without knowing the joy of the mystery genre. Battler-kun. When does this chicken or the egg type of shy love reach the level where it progresses into mutual love? Well, it's probably gradual over time. There's a relationship between friends that you communicate with each other more. And they start thinking, I like this person and they like me. And when both of them reach the stage where they're no longer in doubt, then... Oh, I guess they probably just naturally become a couple. The best I've gotten so far is that relationships which start with sudden confession of love tend to break up more often. There's couples who never actually invest in each other but realize that they've always been together, usually stay together for a surprisingly long time. In other words, it happens when a relationship of trust forms where each person trusts the other. It's what you're saying. Well, yeah, maybe. I'm surprised. I always thought mysteries were a battle between the writer and the reader. But maybe they actually aren't. Yes. They can only exist if there's mutual trust. A relationship with love. Then, you're saying me and her aren't about to the death, but a loving relationship? Though it doesn't look like anything more than a pair of elementary schoolers bullying each other. Virginia joked at us in a middle-aged woman sort of way. So, though I'm not expecting friendship or trusting relationship, I can accept her as a rival. He was fighting at full force trying to make me acknowledge that she's a witch. And responding to that and going all out trying to deny the witches exist.
You
say that Miss Beto is fighting at full force. How can you be so sure of that? How can you be so sure of that?
見てりゃわかるだろ
I mean, you can tell by looking, can't you?
あなたに全力で正面からぶつかっている
It is not as though she was claiming red that she was fighting you at full force.
And
yet, you have no doubt. You're the one who said you would not believe anything except the red truth.
Look, that was a bit of an embarrassing moment. I was having a bit of a panic attack, okay? Like, please, let's forget about that.
This must be the stage where communication increases, and you learn not to doubt your relationship. As you mentioned earlier.
Virgilia and Delanor giggled together. One guy, one will win. Topic is love. Wait a second, isn't this the worst formation we're getting made fun of? I tried a couple times to change the subject. Suddenly brought up more refined topics and attempt to return the mood to something more suitable for a tea party in the rainy going land. Oh, but each time Virgilia saw right through me and laughed. You missed this? Beto kept looking downwards with those gray eyes, staring into your black tea. Yeah, that's right. Virgilia and Delanor gave me so many hints back then. Yeah, I barely thought about them at all. It's way too late now, but let me think. Now it's too late to change anything and I have an endless amount of time on my hands. Let me think. One more time, let me think about the red truth Virgilia gave me. And the crutch called the Decalogue that Delanor lent me. With the red truth, it is guaranteed that at the very least Beto left enough room in this tale for me to achieve victory. That red truth guarantee gave me the power to start my heart beating once again. And there's the crutch of the Decalogue which Delanor gave me. Even she began warning me that the Decalogue isn't so almighty that it can be solve all riddles. But even so, she kind of described it as a method to solve, no, to take on riddles. Let me try it. Even though there's no guarantee whether this tale is fantasy or mystery, let me believe that I would definitely be able to solve it. That this is a solvable tale. A mystery, and let me make one last attempt